Hello everyone, this is Suneve, and I'm coming to you with Savior, Ticci Toby X Reader by Hatsu-Senpai. We're going to be starting off with Chapter 7. You yawned and leaned against Toby's shoulder as the music blared. You couldn't feel your feet, but you were positive they would ache like nobody's business in the morning. You'd have been dancing non-stop, first with Ben, then with Jeff, but mostly Toby. You felt his arms tug you back as you began to fall forward. How many times are you going to have to catch me tonight? You asked drowsily. Approximately 12 more times? Toby laughed and wrapped his arm around your shoulders to keep you from sinking to the floor. You're pretty positive you've never been this tired in your entire life. Do you want to go to bed? He asked as he began to nod off. You merely nodded because you'd forgotten how to speak. Toby scooped you up in his arms and carried you up to your room. He sat you down for a moment to open your door, but quickly slammed it shut. What is it? You slurred. Jeff's making out with some chick with tentacles, he sighed. In my room? You groaned. It seems so, he chuckled and picked you back up. He buried your face in his blue t-shirt and yawned again, and before you knew it, you were covered up in a warm bed and passed out. You woke up to the sound of disembodied shouting. You pushed yourself off the bed groggily and stumbled into the bathroom. Clicking on the light, you realized this is not your bathroom. A spare pair of orange goggles hung up on the towel rack, and a black turtleneck was folded in the sink with a note lying on top. Jeff and the octo chick spent the night in your room, couldn't get in, really don't want to. You can wear this until they wake up. T. You slipped out of your dress and shoes, and he yanked on the warm sweater. Toby was much bigger than you, so it easily reached your knees. You left your stockings on and brushed out your hair with your fingers before quietly padding down the stairs. The shouting grew louder, and you recognized the voice of Slenderman's. I leave for one night, and you completely trash the place? He growled, his tendrils flaring menacingly. Masky, Hoodie, Toby, EJ, and Ben all sat on the couch cowering. You sat down beside Toby cautiously and endured the lecture. He froze a slender pointed a tendril at you. And you, he chastised. I expected more from you. You can't let these boys drag you into their crazy antics. It was my fault, sir, you sighed. I could have stopped them, but I chose to play along. I apologize. Ben and Masky stared at you with open mouths. They probably weren't used to someone taking the fall for them. I forgive you, but make sure this doesn't happen again, he sighed. Yes, sir, you all said in unison. Slender stalked away, and you let out a puff of air. So, Ben grinned as if he hadn't been scolded. What did you think of the party? It was great, Jeff called from the top of the stairs. He had a pale gray girl in his arm, and she had tentacles wrapped around his waist. He saw her out the door and closed it behind him, grinning at you. That's for letting us borrow your room, Mayan. He smirked. You were so mad you couldn't even speak as he strode into the kitchen. I'm gonna kill him. You growled and balled your fist at your sides. Down, tiger. Toby laughed. Ben eyed you curiously, and a smirk curled into his face. Nice shirt, he chuckled. Your face burned as you instantly remembered you were wearing Toby's sweater and bolted up to your room to change. After putting on some leggings and your favorite cat sweater, you slowly made your way back downstairs. Before you hit the bottom step, someone covered your mouth and yanked you into the linen closet. They clicked on the light and you relaxed as you saw it was Toby. Why do you have to scare me like that? He growled, feeling awkward by how close the two of you were. I'm sorry, he laughed. I didn't mean to. What did you drag me in here for anyway? He asked. Or you asked. Ben thinks we slept together last night. I handled it and figured I'd spare you, he shrugged. What a dork, you scoffed. You're like another girl anyway. Toby tilted his head in confusion. I do? You were gonna ask some girl on a date, weren't you? He frowned. Oh, that. He twitched. I was talking about you. About me? You gasped. Well, yeah, he said. You felt your ears turn red and giggled, and before you knew it, you were laughing so hard you had to lean against the door to keep from falling. What? Toby snapped. You asked me for advice on how to plan a date with me? You cried. Oh, Toby said. A smile slowly crept onto his face, and he was laughing too. That is the end of that chapter. Chapter after that one is chapter 8. The wind tugged at your hair as you sat on a bench and read your book. You had an uneasy feeling like you were being watched, but you ignored it. You didn't know he was behind you. You flipped through the pages and pushed your hair behind your ear in an attempt to tame it. And suddenly, a pair of arms wrapped around your shoulders. You yelped and jumped up, spinning around to meet your attacker. And there was Toby, standing there in the black turtleneck he'd let you borrow yesterday, with a goofy grin on his face. He had told you to meet him here last night when he pulled you into the closet and revealed that it was you he wanted to ask on a date. I didn't mean to scare you. He chuckled with a twitch. No, you smiled. It's fine. What did you want to meet me here for? Our date, of course, he shrugged. You didn't even give me an option to reject. Were you going to? He asked. Well, no, you sighed. Then it's fine, he laughed, twitching slightly. Whatever, you pouted. Where are we going? Back there a ways, he pointed off into the woods behind you. But it'll be dark soon. Just come on, don't you trust me? Unfortunately, you sigh, and you follow after Toby as he led you through the thick of trees. He tried to analyze what he'd planned by looking him up and down as he walked. He didn't have a basket, so it wasn't a picnic, no candles either. His goggles were missing, and he became entranced by the way his hair bounced ever so slightly with every step he took. Can I help you? He asked. But no, you squealed. Then quit checking me out, he smirked. I was not checking you out, you growled. It sure looked like it. For your information, you snapped hotly, I was trying to figure out what you had planned. Did checking me out help you come to a conclusion? Toby grinned. All you could do was huff angrily, knowing any further attempt to dig yourself out of this hole would only make it deeper. So you walked along a paved path for a quarter of a mile before it disappeared into gravel, and shortly after into dirt. And by the time you'd walk about a mile, there was no trail left to follow. Toby? Yeah. The trail is gone. Yeah. How do you know where you were going? I've been here 1,000 times, he reassured you. You still felt uneasy until you felt his hand twitch closer to yours. You weren't sure what to do with yourself, so you let his hand wrap around your fingers, your face burning. You focused on the invisible path in front of you in hopes of hiding your crimson face from Toby. You could feel his hand twitching in yours, and it made you even more nervous. Are you alright? He asked. Yeah, I'm fine, you sighed. Why? I can feel your hand shaking. You suddenly felt very self-conscious, and you dropped Toby's hand. He frowned slightly, but didn't try to take your hand back, which he had mixed feelings about. Toby's hand had felt warm in yours, and he found comfort in the way he held your fingers. Not your whole palm. You silently cursed yourself for wimping out. We're here, Toby announced as he came upon a clearing. A huge willow tree around you parted in such a way that made the sunset visible. A large boulder wide enough to seat two was draped in a red quilt. Red and white candles of all shapes and sizes laced the ground around the rock. Oh my goodness, you gasped. You like it? Toby twitched, stammering nervously. It's beautiful, you grinned. And to your surprise and pleasure, Toby took up your hand again, gripping your fingers, and led you to the stone. The candle flames danced gleefully in the breeze, and silver flecks in the stone mirrored their light. You aren't cold, are you? Toby asked as the two of you sat down on the quilted earthen seat. I'm okay, you replied breathlessly. The sun was dipping lower in the trees, and its blazing face was nearly kissing the skyline. Toby slowly folded his fingers between yours, sending a shiver down your spine. You prayed that Toby hadn't noticed, but if he did, he never said anything. When? Toby called quietly. Yeah, you answered, fighting to keep your voice steady. Why aren't you afraid of me? Taken aback by his question, he replied, I don't understand, why would I be? Well, the first time we met, I was trying to kill you, he sighed. You were doing your job. Don't, he twitched. Don't call it that. I don't have to. No one makes me. I want to. I like to. Then why didn't you kill me? I don't know. It would have been easy, he whispered. I wouldn't have put up much of a fight. I like to think I'm tough, but I wouldn't have done much damage. Besides, I don't have anything to lose. Didn't, Toby echoed. Didn't what? You said. You said you didn't have anything to lose, he noted. Does that mean you do know? Have something to lose? Well, yeah, you shrugged. I guess I do. And what would that be? Well, now I have you guys. Ben, Askey, Hoodie, even Jeff, and you. You trailed off. When? Toby said quietly. I would have taken my own life, he continued, ignoring him. I thought about it the night you showed up. My mother wouldn't miss me. My father and brother are dead, and who would care? Your voice trembled and cracked as you spoke. You've never told anyone this. You didn't have anyone to tell until now. You felt him squeeze your fingers gently before dropping them and grabbing you by the shoulder, forcing you to face him. Wyan, stop. I can't bear the thought of that. I care about you a lot, and we all do. I speak for everyone when I say that we'd be lost without you. Toby, You didn't finish your sentence, and Toby had leaned in and kissed you as the sun drowned in the earth and the moon replaced it as the light of the world. That is the end of those 2 chapters. The chapter after that one is chapter 9. Let me know how you guys feel, and I will see you guys in the next video. And until next time, bye-bye.